This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
All right, so this is the first meeting of the 250th Southampton Anniversary Committee, or whatever we're going to call ourselves. I'm not sure yet. It's 6 o'clock on October 16th, and we have Heidi, Dave, Zan, Becky, Janet, Lucy, and Chris right now, and Luann. And Luann. All right, perfect. Come on in, take a seat. We're just getting started. And so this is really just the first kickoff meeting to see what we might want to do. I had put something out on Facebook, which some of you may have seen, and what I've written up here are just ideas that have come into me either through email or Facebook. So we can go through those in a minute. But in the meantime, Heidi's passing around a couple of photos, but then there's also a complete play that was written by Beulah Bray. Was this performed at the 200th, or?
It's listed as in 1952. So it looks like it was done at the church, but not, I think, because this was 1975.
Not for the town, yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
But it's 30 families.
Okay, so there's that one. So that's circulating. There's also a points of interest map, which was done by Ted Hendrick many years ago, and 1967.
I can pass this one
Okay,
around.
and that is one that is being talked about for being updated. So I just wanted to show a couple things here. You've all seen these books, I'm sure. Don't need to, or have you? Yeah, okay. And then this was the souvenir booklet from 1975. If people haven't seen that, but just
I can pass our copy around.
you got a copy around? Sure, yeah.
Lose track of
that
yours.
would be helpful. Just to do that. So just a couple things that I note in here, aside from a letter from the governor, of course, at the time. But we had a commemorative medal and a bicentennial plate, and there was a blanket, did I recall? A blue and white blanket?
Yeah.
There's one. We have one at the house.
Yeah.
There was a blanket.
There's mugs.
There's mugs, glasses, shot glasses, frisbees, playing cards, coasters. There was Christmas ornaments. There was paperweights.
I haven't seen half of those. Okay, all right. So there's, just to say that there was that kind of stuff as part of the overall celebration, and I'm not sure
Yeah, I brought some of
how
the
and
stuff.
how and when it was given out, but I think we once we get farther into this, we ought to think about how we could do those kinds of things. I think people like souvenirs of things. And here, Lan, there's another one of the same booklets there from the 200th. Where to begin? I guess my thinking would be to see if we can learn something from any other town around that's done their 250th. And I did a quick search, and I know Williamsburg has done something within the last couple of years. What I saw from Williamsburg was only about their parade, however. It didn't give me a whole lot of information. West Springfield has also done their celebration, I think. Leverett, maybe Belchertown, and I think Pepperell. So looking at all of the ones, the one I had the most information on the website was the town of Pepperell, which is just outside of Boston, basically. And their anniversary is actually August of 25, so they're in their planning process. So their website, the town www.town.pepperell.mass, whatever, and I can forward this around to us all later on. But they have a whole anniversary committee and what the anniversary committee is charged with doing and that kind of stuff. So I thought I might just read that to us, just briefly, some of the highlights of it, because I think we probably have to be a little bit organized in terms of what we can do and what we don't think we can do. Let me just see if I can pull this up. Yes, go ahead.
So the anniversary is in May, right? Is it?
Actually, it was incorporated in March, late March of 1775.
Okay. So,
but it doesn't mean that we have to do it at that time
I was
frame.
going to say when.
Right. Well, I think a lot of these, and that's where I was going to go with this, I think a lot of these towns are, at least my assumption is, it may not be monthly, but every couple of months there was an activity. It wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just like, you know, the yearly Celebrate Southampton. It was, you know, events throughout the year. And I think that would be something that would be nice to try and aim for, depending on how ambitious we can get.
And that's something that a lot of people are requesting.
Yeah.
Multiple events.
Yeah.
Did Westfield's 350 pop up when you were looking through Google?
Didn't pop up, but 350 or
It was 350.
350.
Yeah.
It was 350 in 19.
Okay, I didn't pop up, but okay. I'm sure there's others out there.
Yeah.
But just trying to see, you know, what kinds of activities, and parades are, you know, yeah, you kind of assume that, but what else was, you know, anybody doing kind of thing. But the responsibilities of the committee in Pepperell, for example, was to develop a theme, marketing material, perhaps a logo, liaise with community groups to encourage them to get involved. Let's see, get involved with current and past residents, youth, educational institutions, sports and rec, arts and culture, business and industry, and government. Seek out community partners willing to arrange or sponsor events or celebrations. Identify organizations to lead and champion events, which might mean some fundraising. Coordinate a schedule, research opportunities to maybe get some grants, and, you know, keep informed with the select board and the town administrator if they raised any money, you know, where would that have to go, et cetera. So, I mean, there's that kind of logistical, organizational stuff that we probably ought to be a little bit formalized. I don't know.
Yeah. And we're a little bit far behind. Like West Hampton has already started on theirs, and it's 5 years away.
Oh. Well, hey, we're quick learners. We'll catch up. We'll catch up. Anyway, so yeah, well, so that's it. So let me just, and I'll turn it over to you guys. So just so you probably can't read all this from a distance, but these were ideas that came in, and these are, you know, no commitments. It's just ideas. So what I wanted to do tonight, I think, was just some brainstorming and thinking about potential scheduling. I mean, is a monthly something maybe a possibility? Every 2 months, whatever. So maybe Congregational Church hosting a dinner. There's a play also written by Lou and Jean Miller, and that's Judith Miller Conlon's parents. So that would be a play, but I imagine Judith has a copy of.
She's got multiple copies of it.
Okay, and then the play written by Beulah Bray, who is Bill Bray's mom. And so we have 2 possible plays, so we need to find an actor troupe of some sort.
Well, we could probably use the kids at the drama club at Hampshire Regional.
Do they have a drama club?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, ring the church bells 250 times. That would be.
I like that one.
That's
Easy.
quite an effort. I don't know about that.
25, one for
Yeah.
25
10
every,
years.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe 25.
Every year, I mean, every month, I mean, every hour for 10 hours.
Yeah, but if
25 or.
if you picked like some boys in town and did it in the each.
Yeah, it's a
doable.
heavy
doable.
bill.
We've
I mean,
done it
yeah.
before.
Yeah, I mean, Dork Dodds has been the one that's done a lot of it, and other people as well. But it's possible. You know, we'd have to figure that out. But anyway, possibly a house tour of the oldest houses in town, some of the oldest houses in town. If there's a particular local history book about Southampton, just maybe a history book, like not this kind of history book, but maybe a book more of a, I don't know, another kind of book written about Southampton that maybe we could coordinate with the library and they could host a book, you know, book of the month or book discussion. Yes, Heidi.
We have the whole book that Atherton Parson wrote on all the historical houses, which is all detailed, right down to who lived where, when the house was built, and everything.
And that would be historic. I'm thinking probably more just some, I don't know what I'm thinking, but not.
Yeah.
Not
No,
necessarily-
it's not this.
The one where it features what's now, like this one.
Maybe, I mean, yeah.
Like the different,
If anybody had a fictional book of, you know, some fiction that was written, you know, in,
oh,
And nothing
or about
else.
Southampton or.
The
Newtown, yeah.
Ranningham.
Yeah, we've got that,
Yeah.
right. And it's a good book. It's dense. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a heavy read. It's not, I mean, I've read it in chapters just because it's, you know, just sitting down and read it cover to cover. I don't think I have yet read it cover to cover.
But the Historical Society has books written from Atherton Parsons with, detailing all of the houses and the history of them, even who was in them and
Yep.
some of their careers.
So
and
let's
stuff.
let's come back to that,
Okay.
because I want to do a little bit of
Yep.
inventory of what we think we have. a dance troupe to demonstrate old dances from whatever period, I don't know. Square dance. And then this was one on Facebook that, if I understood it right, multiple live bands on one night, but over the decades. So starting with, you know, whatever, the 50s, and then moving on up to more popular music or something like that. But having 4 or 5 different bands, each one that's got a specialty in a certain genre of music, I guess. And that's what I think I understood. And let me put up this points of interest map. I forgot that one. Cindy will shoot me if I forget that. Okay. Update. Something like that. Okay, so that's kind of what's been tossed around for some ideas. So before we get into kind of what do we have on hand, other thoughts and ideas that we could throw up.
Maybe if we should go around the
Yeah,
table.
anybody. I mean, just, you know.
Well, can I
Yeah,
just
please.
make a comment?
Please do.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be in this meeting,
Why?
because
You
when
can.
I signed, when I signed the thing at the Celebrate, I thought it was the 250th anniversary of Celebrate Southampton. I thought that's what I was signing up for. But I'll stay and
You're
see
more than
if
welcome
there's
to stay.
any, you know,
Yeah.
if
Well, it's just
there's-
the town one, the
Yeah.
town one.
It's a town fun, and as we, you know, as we do celebrate, I mean, maybe, you know, because this is the 250th, I mean, maybe we, you know, fold in some different events. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, so
Okay.
you're welcome to, certainly welcome to stay. But yeah. Lucy, any other brilliant thoughts offhand right now?
Not right this second.
You know, I'm just thinking Lucy being the keeper of records, right? All the
Yeah.
births and deaths and all that
Oh,
stuff
yeah, I
of,
feel
that's
that.
happened
That's
over.
right, yeah.
So even, you know, some sort of compilation of, you know,
Firstborn.
yeah, I mean, whatever,
Yeah.
numbers of births, deaths, marriages
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
over the last 50
Yeah.
years, for example, since 1975 or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. I mean, I don't know, just
Yeah, yeah.
something that you might be able to pull from your
Oh, yeah. definitely.
historical records, perhaps?
I can do that.
Just a
That
thought?
can be created into like
Yeah.
a trivia thing.
Yeah.
Throw out trivia questions,
Yeah.
Okay.
trivia night or trivia.
Sure.
An event
Yeah.
Yeah,
related to history
Yeah.
or town
I
things.
do have somebody that requested their son's band take into consideration for 50s, 60s music, if we're looking for a band for that type of
Okay.
era, so.
All right.
So keep
And,
them.
Great, that sounds good.
let's just put,
Is there gonna be anything like Celebrate Southampton? Like-
Yeah, Celebrate
like one day,
Southampton
like-
is
Celebrate's
August,
still happening.
Yeah, okay.
It's
August-
still already
Oh,
scheduled.
good.
August 15th and 16th.
Do you know
I
the
think
date?
so.
It's the third, it's
It's
the
the
third
15th.
weekend.
I bet, the
15,
dance,
16.
Lucy, what's the name of the band, sorry?
it's Decades.
Decades?
Something,
Decades?
yeah. Decades of something. I'll get them going. But the
Funny time.
dance troupe would probably could use Packworth to get
Oh, gosh.
some of their dancers.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, let's keep on brainstorming it.
Yeah.
That brought me into another thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Janet, thoughts, anything?
Well, I think you just mentioned how the record by Atherton Parsons about
Uh-huh.
different houses. I have a copy of that.
Okay.
Oh, I have it and I read it all the time. I have it at home and I study
Yeah,
it for
I
some of the
ran
stuff
across
I'm
it
working
the other day.
on.
I didn't know we had this, and I'm friends with the Cocazinas, and their house is listed in there.
Uh-huh.
It's a good thing to have.
Good, yeah. Well, and that too, as if we were to do like a tour of old houses, I mean, obviously the homeowner would have to be willing to do that, but, you know, we might be able to pick out a few of those, and that book could be a good resource for that as well, so, yeah. Good. Becky, thoughts? Anybody? Dan, anything?
Nothing specific, no.
Just when I was looking up what other towns did for
Mhm.
their big anniversaries and even their 250th, I saw a lot of them did like a birthday party at their town hall, which I thought was kind of cute.
Okay.
Ooh, like that.
Birthday party. Okay.
Cause didn't the Westfield, when they did their 350th, do a giant wooden birthday cake?
They
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
big cake in the fountain.
Okay.
And that was something Tammy was,
It's around somewhere, I think, still.
yeah, it gets passed
It
from
went to
town to
Hatfield,
town.
And it went somewhere else, and it went somewhere else, yeah. That cost close to $100,000.
Wow.
Yeah. It's-
Okay, we may not do that.
No, but what it does is they're passing it around And if you request it, then you keep it till the next town requests it. Wasn't that how Tammy said it worked?
No, they were selling it.
Oh, they were selling it?
They were
Oh.
selling it, because Westfield, most of the Westfield businesses contributed towards it, and then we were trying to recoup, I say we, because that's where I was, but they tried to recoup some of the costs.
But we could maybe
rent it?
we could maybe make some.
We're gonna do a less,
I'm sure we could have some
What's it
comments
called?
around make a cake.
It's this giant birthday cake
it was
thing.
just a birthday cake they had in the green in Westfield.
So just a big giant,
It was just a big giant birthday cake with,
not edible.
No, but we might be able to build something.
Yeah. Okay. So build birthday cake, I'll just throw that down here, who knows?
Could we,
Well, Westfield, huh?
maybe incorporate something like, because I'm on the Memorial Day Parade Committee,
Yeah.
something we can mention, like, you know, participants could, that could lead up to like something to the 200, like, that be part of the 250 celebration.
Well,
I mean, I know it's Memorial Day, but we could have like,
doing something
In addition, yeah.
in addition to it.
Yeah, because the parade is the
Right.
day, but I mean,
Yeah,
that
right.
whole weekend, we
right,
could.
yeah.
What we're talking about maybe is do things over the entire length of the spring and summer.
Right.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Okay, anything else, Sam?
Oh yeah, I have a whole document.
Oh, good, go for it.
Good, I'm
She's
glad I'm not the only
our, what, a history major, is that what you are?
Yeah.
Perfect, go for it, please.
I think we have like history talks, book talks up already. A couple towns like read their town establishment or like their town proclamation letter
Okay,
out loud on the day.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Live music, parade, picnic, barbecue.
Barbecues, yeah.
Southampton trivia event.
Yeah.
Some like dedicated kids activities.
I think there was, if I'm not mistaken, well, maybe it was Old Home Days rather than the 200th, but it was like adults and kids baseball game, softball game, baseball game or something.
Yeah, that's something, that's also been requested again.
If I can do this. Maybe without falling over.
And then,
I'll just put sports activities, how's that? Because that could be anything.
then I had like a town scavenger hunt with
Oh.
a prize maybe in question mark. I'm not sure what our budget is.
Well, nothing yet, but we'll figure that out.
Cemetery tour, because our cemetery is pretty old.
Yep.
Yeah, we do that every year.
Coming up this Sunday.
So that's happening right
And the
now.
scavenger hunts, another group that doesn't want to come forward has already started planning something on that.
Okay, talk about that. But the cemetery tour, even though you guys are doing one momentito, but a year from now, October, so there's no reason why that couldn't be, added to the.
Yeah.
Tour.
For Lexington's 300th, they did like an all-town photo. Yeah, I wasn't sure
That'll never
how they
happen.
did it. The article just said they did it.
I can't even imagine.
Some sort of
That would
like
be cool.
piecemeal panoramic thing.
Yeah,
like colleges do from the roof.
yeah.
A lot of them had like a booklet or handout, like the one that was
Yeah,
passed around.
so some sort of printed, so,
Program or
Yeah.
booklet.
yeah, so I'm gonna put that down here, so, booklet. Yeah,
Westfield did a post book too, a whole big, with everything that they did for the year, all the pictures,
Yeah, Northampton's doing
archiving
some of
it, which is
those.
really cool. And it was a fundraiser, it was sold 10 or 15 books.
Yeah, we have some of the copies of those from different towns over the years.
Yeah.
what kind of book was this, sorry?
It was a post, it was basically a picture book, like a dining room, or a coffee table book,
Oh.
post events. So it's like, this all happened through 2019 and 2020, or late 2019, as they recapped, because Westfield did monthly events for
Okay.
the best part of a year, and everything, they recapped it all, and
Oh.
had huge pictures from from the parade and everybody
Sure.
involved. So it was pretty
So
cool.
sort of a big picture book,
Yeah,
after the event's over, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
we have a copy of the one that Northampton did at for their 300th. years ago, if you need an example of that.
That could be something we could sell.
Yep.
Yep.
And the last thing I had was just a lot of towns did commemorative postage stamp.
Yes. I'll throw it here. So some odds and ends like that. Good, yeah.
I would add gala, you know, a big, fancy,
A gala,
A
a ball.
Yeah.
a ball, gala, I don't like the word ball, but a gala or something,
Yeah, people have requested that too.
you know. And speeches, I think, you know, she mentioned it, but, you know, different experts on different topics to speak on the history,
Yeah.
the something, whether it's the, you know, the Indians' relationship with
Yeah.
Southampton, or, you know, back in the moon shining days and the bootlegging days, and, you know, all that cool type of stuff that gives it a little interest.
The Historical Society has a whole bunch of research done over the years on Indians. Okay. Anything else, Dave?
No, I think,
What you got, Heidi?
Okay, I got a lot that people are asking for.
Who are all these people that are asking for it?
I've been talking to people about this for years, you know this. Okay. They want a time capsule,
Oh, gosh.
if possible.
that's probably one floating around
I
somewhere.
love
You don't have to write this down because I could give you these sheets.
Well, no, it's good to have it here.
Okay,
Time capsule.
okay. They want a bonfire. They said if we could do one for the dancing troupe, we could do one for the town.
Sure.
Okay,
And lead into fireworks. I forgot fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fireworks, yeah.
I don't know where we would do in the town, but.
I'm just gonna read this one.
yeah, it might be easier if you wrote it just straight on with it down on the table, Chris.
No, I just want to balance it. There we go. Okay. Fireworks.
Okay.
Yep.
They want some sponsored town hikes, like to the lead mines and up Pomeroy Mountain, because they said nobody gets to go up to Pomeroy Mountain and look out anymore.
Oh, that's changing a bit now, the Open
Except the
Space
kids who
Committee.
take the dirt bikes up there.
Yeah,
You can
Okay.
get there,
You
but
can get there.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, well, now through the Open Space Committee, I mean, things are happening, so with permission, you can go up Pomeroy Mountain on
Okay.
certain occasions.
Okay, so they want like a town-sponsored some hikes.
Yep.
Okay, they also want the reservoir tour back like Herman Andrews used to do.
Yeah, Tri-Carmody?
Yeah. And while doing that, the Historical Society would be willing to do some information on the west part. And like, there's some maps that we have, and town probably has, showing the difference between where the houses were and where the maps with the dam now. And we have all of the information written by Samuel Wright that tells you every single one of the houses, who lived there, what happened to the families. And they said, why, on the same day, having somebody stationed at the West Part Cemetery. And we have all the information on there, who are in the 20 different graves that are thing, and I can do more research on that. Okay. Okay. The ones in the 20s and 30-year-olds, they went to trivia night. They also want music for younger people, and not all of this stuff designed for over 50 years old. And they said maybe like a costume party event in the park with the younger music. They were talking zombies, but you know, that's all the thing. Okay. So,
This is the 20, 30-year-old?
yep, that's what they requested. I've been talking to people for years on this. Okay. All right. The teenagers are mad because we don't do anything for them, and they have sent a couple of requests.
Okay.
They would like a movie night just for town teenagers,
Out in the
of
park?
P-
Or-
of wherever we can fit it, a PG-13, only teenagers allowed, with popcorn.
Only teenagers?
Only teenagers.
Oh,
You can
boy.
have supervisors, but
Yeah, probably.
but they said everything's done for the little kids.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
It is.
we ask our teenagers to volunteer, but we do nothing for them. They're also requesting a carnival. A simple carnival. They actually are asking for old-fashioned games, and they want this at the Norris School, and maybe bring in some other youth groups to run little events so that they can enjoy the thing. And they want a dance with black lights and glow sticks.
All right, folks.
Pretty specific.
No, they got a list of what they want, but they want something that's just for, because they said once they leave the Norris, they're split up in all these directions
Sure.
and they never get to hang out again. Okay,
So
so,
gala for the adults,
yeah,
dance for the teens, right? How's
yeah. Okay,
Answer maybe.
Yeah, roll them together.
okay. So there's also been a request for a contest for like, people make colonial costumes
that? Oh,
and thing, okay?
so contest. So-
Yeah, like, so
Sewing
like,
contest?
like people make their own costumes or come dressed up in
Mhm.
thing. Pie eating contest was some people want.
Baking.
Pie baking. Pie
Pie
eating.
baking.
First things first.
Yeah, okay. So, all right. So, we actually have a request that's been going around since Black Lives Matter movement, that we do nothing to honor our black history in town, and the African American. Now, Bill Bray is willing to be in on this and do a thing. When he was a teacher, he used to do an Underground Railroad thing,
Yeah.
where he took people around and thing. And he was talking about maybe we could do something at Conant Park to celebrate the Underground Railroad, where you take the people, you have a conductor, and then you have other people, and the people become invisible, and the conductor tells thing. And then afterwards, you have something at the schoolhouse where you tell the history of the town. Because we have the history of the Underground Railroad in town. There was a bunch of houses that were involved. We have also, the Historical Society has been collecting the names of some of the black people and slaves and free black people and thing. And it's never really been disclosed.
No, I just realized that was turning.
So they want their,
Thank you.
I promised that at some time in history, we would do something about, okay? All right, so then this is from the teenage boys and the veterans. Because they're irritated that we do nothing to celebrate our our soldiers that have gone through, other than the memorial parade and some simple things. They want us to make a video, kind of like what we do at the cemetery walk, where we have these little scripts, we give them to these boys and males mostly, but if girls want to be involved, where we videotape them talking about the soldiers, because I have a bunch of the history already done, and we have the stuff that Dick Ferry has done. And then we compile that into doing a video that we can sell and also displayed.
But
And
not necessarily at the cemetery.
No, we just do the filming, we do them in little segments
At the cemetery though?
at
or
the
no?
cemetery at different points. Compile it, have somebody organize it, and then be able to sell the
How do we
videos.
call that? Veterans grave? Something?
Yeah,
Veterans
this is one of the, yeah,
grave talk.
I don't know.
Yeah. because I have all of the stuff that Dick Ferry has written on all the Civil War guys. So we have a lot of the stuff we need. And this is money.
So maybe Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War Revolutionary, we got stuff on the French Indian thing. And that can be a fundraiser thing, okay? And the other, okay, Sorry, I talk faster than you,
Okay.
right? The other thing that people want, and this can also be another fundraiser thing, do you know when you go through Westfield and East Hampton and you see all the soldier
veterans.
flag, the veteran
Yes.
flags?
Yeah.
They would like us to sell those as a fundraiser thing, and so we can have them next year in our town, because they really hate that we don't have that.
I love it when I drive through East Hampton
Yeah.
and see that.
I do too.
I think it's
And-
awesome.
I do, me too.
And it's a great fundraiser thing.
I love it when they do it for the graduates too.
Don't these,
You know, in the.
isn't it usually the family that pays for that?
Right. What
Hang up the
we do is a fundraiser, we bring out that idea, and then we see who orders it, and that way the family's paying for it. It doesn't cost anything, but it makes us look good. So the families pay for it.
So it's not really a fundraiser.
It's not really a
it's just
fundraiser though. It's-
Well, we can charge more than it cost us too.
I think these are, they're not cheap.
Okay, but you know what I mean?
They're a couple $100, I
And
think.
now they are.
Are they? But,
I'm not quite sure how it'd be a fundraiser, but okay.
yeah,
I like
no,
the idea, yeah.
but those are some of the main things.
Wow.
I've been talking to people for years.
Okay, go, please.
Wait, you thought of something.
Something that Heidi didn't think of? Oh my God.
It might be nice to get the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts
Yeah.
or Scouts
Yep.
involved in something. I don't even know if there's any Girl Scout troops left in Southampton.
There is one.
There is, yeah.
There is one, but some have been already merging with the Boy Scouts.
Okay, well, that's
And-
why I said Scouts. I
and-
mean, it doesn't have to be,
And the main Boy Scout thing is in Westfield, right down,
Arch Street.
yeah. And they're pretty good, and they're willing to work with us too.
Wow, that's good.
Whoosh.
I have been working and
No,
talking
that's
to
great.
people
No,
for
I mean,
years.
that's really what I wanted to do today, is just throw some ideas out, to see what's possible. I mean, and how much of it we can really do is another story. I mean, this is, you know.
Here, these are more
Oh,
detailed
Thank you, sure.
of your copies
Good
of.
question. Do we have any money?
We don't, well, right now we don't, but I need to, you had pointed me toward the Mass Cultural Council.
Yeah, yep.
So I guess I need to take a look online and see if there's anything. I thought though,
They closed off their funding for next year already.
they just had the
Yesterday.
application. Oh, yesterday.
It's already, it's really tight
No.
to get like
Yeah.
information and.
Yeah, I mean, and my understanding was that I thought the 67 or 6,800 that the town gets.
No, the town only gets like 700, 750.
No, but you guys gave out like
Look,
$6,800
The
worth of
state
stuff.
gives us $6,700. Yeah.
Oh, so it comes through the town, but it's, okay, it's state money coming through the town, so it's not the town
Right.
cultural council giving it out, it's the state cultural council?
It's the state funds it,
Yeah,
but the cultural council for the
town
town
decides on who gets
They
it.
decide.
chooses the allocations.
Right, so the applications though go from Becky into town,
Right.
not state.
Yeah, right.
So I guess I wasn't sure, you know, with an allocation already coming into the town, how does somebody else apply directly to state? That's where I didn't understand. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but maybe it's closed already.
It's through the website, you have to
Yeah,
apply.
yeah, it's probably
And
already
it's
too
due
late.
tomorrow?
That's probably
I'm
too
pretty
late.
sure it's
So,
tomorrow.
and you know, most of these you'd have to be specific about what you wanted to use it
Yeah,
for,
with
so,
the state applications, I mean, it's,
yeah,
you have to
Yeah.
have everything planned,
Sure.
already paid out. I mean,
Yeah.
already planned, already where you're gonna do it, how many people do you expect, blah, blah, blah.
yeah. So, I mean, I guess all I would say is right now, there is no money. However, we will be entering as a town, and I'll speak with my select board hat on, we'll be entering our budget season soon, December, January, February. We have to have a budget for town by May, so that may not get us money in time for stuff, but it just depends on what we think, we'd have to have a budget of some sort. You know, what do we know that we would have to pay for?
Yeah.
What kinds of stuff, and I know from Celebrate Southampton, you guys have probably got ideas if there were, you know, I guess I'm not thinking bounce house myself, personally. I'm in the history mode myself, but who knows?
What is the rough amount for Celebrate Something, like everything?
About,
This year
it's
it's
about,
changed.
weren't we quoted about 8,000 when we figured our budget for next year? Well, it cost us 8,000 this year, I believed.
Yeah, but
I mean, do you charge for the, like, food
No.
trucks and, I
No.
know you charge for vendors.
But you get
right?
you get sponsors though, right?
We
So,
get-
That's what I
we get
mean,
sponsors from
yeah.
yeah, but I would say between like 6 and 8 over the last 20 years.
yeah,
How much it costs.
right,
to
because you pay for the
bring it.
balloon man and the bounce house and
Well,
other.
those sponsors pay for a lot of that.
Right,
but-
exactly. So that's where I was gonna say is that, you know, part of it is going to be out doing that kind of fundraising and trying to see if we can get some sponsors, and how we do that, you know, at a time when we're not infringing too much on
Right.
whatever Celebrate Southampton needs to do. I mean, it's, or how we can package it so it sounds like
Yeah,
it's all
business-
part of the same thing.
Businesses in town might not be keen on doing Celebrate, funding both
Right,
things.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't own a business in
Yeah,
town,
I know.
so, but that would be my thought, like you're coming at me at all angles.
Right.
Because we aren't the only ones who ask for money.
Sure.
Right.
Right, it's a
Yeah.
Other
short route.
groups ask for money too.
Yeah, yeah, there's various other groups that do too, so that's a thought. But, I mean, we might be able to, you know, get a few $100 put in the town budget, but I don't know
Well-
how far it would get us.
Well, that was the suggestion of doing the videotaping, because we have people in town who have video cameras of doing that cemetery thing. Dick Ferry, I got a book this thick that Bob Kozub gave me with the promise that I would actually do something. And I've talked to Dick Ferry's family. They're okay with us using the information however we want, as long as we have some honorable mention that it is Dick Ferry's work. He has all of the stuff from the Civil War. I can tell you what battles everybody was in. All of the things he had. It's listed. Their what they looked like. I know their job occupations before they went in. I know which ones were in what companies, when they mustered in, when they mustered out.
So what might
everything.
be interesting, I'm just, let's key in a little bit, you know, whoever we have as a history teacher up in, you know, 6th grade at Norris, you know, that could be an interesting project for them to do some sort of, you know, I mean, to
Yeah.
liaise with the
Yeah.
school and have them do some history
Yeah.
research and,
Well,
so there's those kind of things.
We have all the research done. We've been-
No, but the kids to
Yeah.
learn about it is what I'm trying to
No,
say.
but what people are talking about is having regular people in town,
Yeah.
which would cost us nothing, do the videotaping, compile the videotaping so that we have some sort of jointed project. Then, either being able to do it ourselves if somebody has a good system, compile that, and then sell it. And we could burn our own CD or DVDs, or put it onto USB and sell it. So you could do pre-ordering, is what Candy Gunn was saying, pre-ordering. So there's no upfront cost.
Yeah. Would people buy it, I guess is the question.
How would you promote the people to be
Yeah.
in the videos?
Well, we could get some of the different groups and the veterans and stuff to do, what do you call it? And you could sell the thing. You do it talking 3 to 5 minute clips. So we could do it all with no budget ahead of time, is what we're saying.
Think about it.
And, because like the 90% of men, when they're going for something to read, go for Civil War, Revolutionary War, or World War I or II. So, and a lot of people in town have talked about the idea because they want to know more about their family members too. So, you're talking it's a zero budget fundraiser
Yeah,
thing.
well, I'm not quite seeing it as a fundraiser myself, but I haven't got there yet, but.
Well, no, but
Convince me maybe, but later.
but selling it.
Yeah, I just don't know who would buy it. That's what I'm not understanding.
Right.
That I think you make assumptions, we gotta be careful on that, to make assumptions that everything will sell. I mean, some people would like it, but you're not gonna, you know, would you sell enough to really cover your effort in doing it? Not that it would cost much, but your effort is time and effort is
Yeah,
cost.
right.
One thing I was gonna say though, tying on with the video, we have through East Hampton Media,
Right.
you know, we have our PEG
Right.
access cable channel, but there's also, you know, a studio up there. They're willing to, you know, work with anybody, and we can film up there, train anybody to be a film person, to do something. So that's a, you know, basically free resource that we have to make use of East Hampton Media, which would be a good,
The only thing that I noticed with them is that we don't get the stuff that that they film.
They never
We
give it
don't
back.
get the stuff like from Celebrate, we don't get anything. We
No.
don't get videos, we don't get anything.
really.
It becomes their personal property.
They, like,
And we
so
never
it
see
took
it.
us forever for them just to send a photo of the town, the group picture.
Uh-huh.
They had to really, like, took forever to get that.
Oh, yeah.
So we haven't seen any videos or when they do anything, we don't get it.
Huh.
So I'm just thinking if we were to
Okay.
do something, it would be better probably to be on our own with a kid with a phone and just put it together. and-
Yeah.
Or
Maybe,
maybe
yeah.
clear the expectations.
Or clear,
going
yeah,
into
just,
it.
have a written something with East Hampton Media about what the expectations are or something
Or
like that.
assigned yours.
Right,
Yeah.
right, so that's what we've noticed the last few years, that we just don't get the stuff.
Huh, okay.
Or if you're talking about gala, I mean, why not have the gala to start off? And
Oh, right.
sell tickets to raise the funds,
Right.
to start a little,
Mhm.
pushing
Yeah,
the start.
a little piggy bank, yeah, of sorts.
Right, just something like that, like,
Mhm.
or the movie night, or
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Robert Floyd is a great photographer, he would probably.
Who's
No, he will
He
not
charges-
give you
he charges
anything, he
everything.
charges, and he won't give it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Robert
Even if
won't
you had
give
an
you,
agreement that we want him to create.
he won't
It-
agree.
it
He will
does
not
it-
agree.
He was on our board at the Historical Society and would not give us the pictures he took at our own
Okay.
events. So-
Alright.
Yeah,
Did we
So-
mention t-shirts and baseball caps to sell from anywhere in them?
I
Yeah.
know
well, that could be
Yeah.
like merchandise
Start
stuff.
like.
Merchandise,
stuff
that's the
like-
kind of thing, I think, so,
Yeah.
maybe those kind of, wherever that thing was that we suggested there.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, because then people can get them before events start happening, and then wear them to the event.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think so.
to promote the events happening. I don't know.
Any of the events that have like a prize, like the scavenger hunt I mentioned, there could be a raffle
Mhm.
for tickets, that could raise some
Oh,
money.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did we tell you that Celebrate was gonna be August 15th and 16th?
Yeah, she,
Yeah.
Okay.
August 15th, 16th, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess,
can I just say one more thing? Sorry.
sure,
You know how you mentioned barbecue? Well, I've been talking about talking to people about, and they've been saying, what happened to the pancake breakfast?
mm-hmm,
Why doesn't the town have the pancake breakfast?
Because the Lions Club did it.
so
The Lions
August
Club sponsors
15th and
that.
16th, Tammy?
Yeah.
So they were.
Which
the
one,
ones who
after
did it.
Memorial Day?
No, it was like Easter Bunny time.
Yeah.
Just have
Oh.
Easter Bunny going,
Yeah,
Wasn't that for someone named LaBrie?
well, it was in his name, it was like the
in his name.
Brown
Oh,
LaBrie
okay.
pancake
Oh,
breakfast, was the
okay.
Lions Club
Oh,
bit on,
okay.
you know.
All right.
so maybe that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
Throw it up in here.
everybody loves pancakes.
Yeah, and that's fairly cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
Well, and then, with the Lions Club barbecue, normally in September, right?
yes,
Yep.
And that can be an event,
Well, I think
You know, it
all
doesn't
the
have to be-
events that we have
Yeah.
should be
right,
piggybacked on.
Correct.
So that you're not all of them, but so
Duplicated.
that you're not
Right.
trying to get more out of it. So, but these groups would need more help to do this instead of them taking the burden of all of this extra
Right.
stuff.
like the town-sponsored hikes could be a charged event. Because what was that guy who was doing the lead mine tours was charging like $5 or $10?
Andrew, or Andy Broder?
Yeah.
I don't know if he was charging, maybe he was.
Yeah, I think it was $10 a person
Maybe.
for the tour.
Probably would know.
Charging for that type of stuff doesn't feel right.
No, I know, because it's,
That's what the town should be
Anybody could-
doing, come celebrate with us.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right,
It seems
right.
like it's
I
the
think
town's
you're gonna-
responsibility.
I think
to-
you could sell tickets for a gala,
Absolutely.
where would the
Um,
gala be held?
Hey,
Country
why not
club?
Southampton Country Club?
Country club?
For their business.
maybe?
You
Country
know,
club
like-
perhaps, I mean, as an idea, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But I think you could do fundraising with merchandise, I mean, I think
Yeah, I
that's where
agree.
Yeah.
you'd
I
get
agree, Yeah.
some return on your effort there.
But we have to be careful because 50 years ago, people liked clutter.
Stuff.
And a lot of younger people now don't buy merchandise.
People buy t-shirts
Oh, they
at
do.
just about every concert
Yeah,
anyway.
They do.
I think you could sell
Depends
t-shirts,
on
I mean,
what it is.
it depends on
It's
what
gotta
it
be
is.
made cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Depends on what it
If
is.
it's a knick-knack, bric-a-brac, it might not.
Yeah,
yeah,
it might not
correct.
go.
So like the mugs, for example, I mean, I have my coffee mug, I use it from time to time, but that was done, I think, through the women's club, maybe? Pottery, it's a
Yes,
gray
the-
mug. with
Yeah,
the
that
blue.
was- yeah, that
nice
was-
one.
That was the women's club, and I don't know that anybody is still around that does that.
Actually, they did a couple of years ago, they did the great mugs.
I know, but I don't know that anybody's still,
I have one, it's just Southampton.
is somebody, do you know, Janet, is somebody still doing that in the women's club?
Um,
I don't know.
Deb
I didn't
DeMar-
see her this year.
Deb DeMarco is saying, and when I asked at the last meeting, they still haven't done anything, even though about 250th, even though I brought it up multiple times. Because I asked them a month ago, and they're there like,
Yeah.
I asked the Lions Club.
Yeah, okay.
And nobody's playing, the only body is the Historical Society, and we still want to be a little bit quiet about what we're doing
Yeah.
We
until
don't
we
know if
find,
we can even do all that we would want to do.
because we're trying to finalize some things.
Since half of us are here, it's gonna complicate it.
Yeah.
And
Because
Celebrate, we already put so much effort into.
the only thing we can tell you that the Historical Society is doing is that we should be able to have our first book out. That first time a book has come out in 50 years from the Historical Society.
And what is it going to be about?
It's,
Southampton.
no, it's called Speaking with Silence. It's Southampton history and New England history through a written version through Silence Judd, who was the minister's first wife. We've been doing research on the 30 founding families and their family trees and stuff. So we want to do like a continuous series, but.
Okay. Now, were you not working on something on the Native American population?
Yeah, I actually have a whole collection on that. We switched thing. I've got 6 years into history of the Native Americans in the thing that would be willing to
That could be
use for on the thing.
Yeah, that could be like a speaker at the library or something then
Yeah.
too, right? So,
And
Sorry. Go ahead,
no, the woman that came in last year for the Underground Railroad said she would come back if we think. I have all of her information, and that's a free speaker. She's with the National Park System. I can forward you that information. All we have to do is contact her, because I talked when she came in for the library. I talked to her, and she said she'd be willing to come back next year.
okay, we have the Underground Railroad on here, so that's.
Yeah, yeah, she's a free speaker because the state pays for it and it would cost us nothing, and they filled up the library.
No, I think that's good.
Just to let you
Yeah.
know, the band is called Decades Experience. They do the oldies, and then they have another, like, portion of their band that does rock. So they're called Decades Experience and Ultimatum. They played at Conant the year before COVID hit, in 2019, so, yeah.
Oldies and what? You said 60s?
Ultimatum, oldies, yeah, and the other one does rock, yeah.
Did you say 60s or is that oldies?
She just said
That is
oldies.
oldies.
Yeah.
Oldies and rock.
Yeah,
The question is how much they charge.
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Well, that's why when we're talking about age group things, we might want to talk to the band at the local schools. And we could get kids to perform if they got garage bands for nothing. Because a lot of the garage bands, you know, like Barry, this was something Barry Searles talked about. Because when he was a kid, he was a garage band. There's no places nowadays for the kids to actually think. So we could always use some of the local kids, and most of them are in the music program at Hampshire Regional. And, you know, we can try them, see what they're doing beforehand.
My son's, one of his good friends went to school for music, and he's on YouTube, and he does rap and stuff, but he also does like acoustic guitar, and
Yeah.
so, I mean, it doesn't have to be a band, it could be a singular person if
Right,
if it
right.
was, you know.
Yeah.
so, but-
It's good to know.
And Bob Poston might do something on Northampton,
Oh, yeah, the canal?
Canal.
Okay, and what do you call it? Because Bob doesn't have much time. I don't know how many of you know that in the spring, Carl Walters had donated to the Historical Society a laptop that we keep at the library that's accessible to everybody. That is the entire history of Carl Walters' research. And believe me, I've spent over 40-something hours, and I barely got through it. You know, there's thing. So Carl Walters, remember the Historical Society? There was the map, and actually it's down in the display down here with the canal from New Haven to Northampton.
The guy that just spoke at the Historical
No,
Society?
that's the guy who did the bike path.
Oh, is it different?
Oh,
Okay.
That's a different one.
Okay.
But
Wait.
Carl Walters donated all of his research. It's easily accessible, and we can display that without any effort.
Okay. Just things like that. Okay, so we've brainstormed a lot. Do we generally think that we want to try and kind of do something monthly? I mean, I think That's 12 events. It's not impossible.
When do we want to start? When do you, like,
Well, I'm thinking January, probably.
Yeah, good.
I think January. And I mean, following up on you know, what Becky was saying. So, I mean, Celebrate is already there in August. So that's a big event, but there could be maybe a couple of smaller events, you know, going along at different weekends, you know, at
Well,
the
if we
same
were,
time.
let me ask something, I'm sorry to interrupt
Yeah,
you.
go ahead.
If we were to do a parade, because I think, you know,
Yeah.
looking through from the Westfield standpoint, everything culminated at the parade.
Right.
They did a lot of monthly events, and
They
I think
did.
they wrapped,
Like in
like
October or
from,
something?
I think they went like from June to May when the parade was.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it was the year,
Yeah, that way.
with the big culmination of the parade and the fireworks,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everybody was kind of worn out by then.
Sure, yeah.
But I just, you know, if we
Yeah.
do a parade and say, you know, July 4th or
Yeah.
middle of July or somewhere, you know,
Possibility.
then, you know, sort of back into other things.
Right. So thinking about, okay, so we have Memorial Day weekend, so there's a parade there, but there could be the other half of that weekend.
Yeah.
That could be something else.
Or even after the parade.
or after the parade,
fire
right.
department used to have hot dogs
Yeah.
and stuff.
Sure,
That
you
they
know.
don't do anymore. It could be anybody
Yeah.
adding on to.
Right, piggybacking onto those
Like
events, so I,
piggyback the carnival.
Right.
or something, yeah.
Right on to
Or
that,
whatever,
you
so,
know,
so I think, yeah, that kind of thing. So we've got Memorial Day, we've got Celebrate Southampton, we've got the Lions Club Barbecue. Those are three biggies that I think of. Anything else that's a big town event?
I like the gala. I'm stuck on the gala.
Well, actually, a lot of people have asked for that. I had that in my
Yeah,
notes too,
right.
Yeah.
that they wanted a ball.
Yeah, I think that's such a nice thing. I do.
So I think that, you know, there's definitely, you know, to expand upon the existing events without creating a whole lot of
Right.
duplication, I think.
Right.
But then there might be, you know, the possibility of some of these other things, you know, because there's a lot of great ideas here. I mean, some smaller events
Right.
to,
Yeah.
you know, accompany, for example, you know, the Sunday of, you know, we already have tried to do some hiking that Sunday, I think, on, after Celebrate sometimes. Sometimes that's worked a little bit, sometimes it hasn't.
Well, like-
So there's ways to combine a few things without making it. Sorry, Lucy, sorry, hang on.
August is Celebrate Southampton.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what
September
if we
is the
kind of
barbecue.
promoted like Celebrate in July with like the town events, like
But
when we do a town event in July for 250th, we would promote Celebrate Southampton.
but not using
You know
the
what I
word
mean?
celebrate, because
Sure.
that's our,
Well,
you'd have to talk to the board about that if you're using the word
No,
celebrate.
she's promoting,
No,
so.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, I meant
Yeah.
to
Oh, okay.
promote the actual
It's
celebration.
Celebrate
Yeah,
250.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
but
Right.
even Celebrate, we do what we do because that's what we are able to do, but
Right.
there could be fireworks and dancing or bonfires after
Right.
Sure.
we're done at 4. I mean, there's
Yeah,
potential
That's
for
what
it to be.
Right.
Exactly, so I
Yeah.
think, you know,
Right.
if we think of,
Yeah.
you know, those are those three big events that come to my brain at the moment, but, you know, but there's no reason that you couldn't piggyback onto that and make it a real busy weekend.
Right. And
Right.
put the-
If
put the
people were up
parade
for
on
it,
Sunday.
or have, you know, another weekend in that month for, you know, a smaller event, maybe, some of the library book things, or, you know, other things like that,
'Cause you
or
have to
maybe
think
during the
about
week.
weather and
Right.
vacations and
Yes.
people being
Sure,
away and
sure.
school getting out.
But, you know, I think to make it available, and those that are here that want to come will
Right,
come.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think you
Right.
just can't really
Yeah.
plan around people
No,
and
you can't,
vacations,
right, yeah.
but back to Dave's point about
I
a
like
parade,
that,
so there's a
yeah.
question about that. I mean, so say we have the barbecue in September, you could, I mean, we could do a parade in October. Kind of the end of harvest season. I mean, when would we get farmers around for the, whether there's tractors, whether there's antique
You're-
cars, whether
they
there's
don't-
ox carts?
They
Not-
don't want to do anything during their best time.
Right,
Yeah.
so that'd be the end of harvest season is what I'm saying.
Because even like Fletcher's is still going to run through all of October.
They will, that's true.
They're
'Cause-
doing all kinds of stuff.
True.
Remember when you were on the board and we tried to do something in September? And they were.
Right, and that is a busy
It
time.
was thing.
So, okay, so you could start off with a parade earlier. You could do a spring,
We could do it earlier, we could do
do
it.
a spring kind of thing before.
I mean, the
people
one
get
thing
busy.
too that we learned, and I don't know how Hampshire Regional, if Hampshire Regional has a band and we want the band.
Yeah, do they have a
They don't
band?
have a
I don't think,
band
they don't
They
have
don't
anything
have a
to
band,
do.
all right, never mind.
Yeah, the music programs I think have kind of
Because
gone.
in Westfield, the issue was they can't make the kids come back once school's out. And you
Yeah.
can't, and with all the teachers' unions
Yeah,
stuff, they couldn't make
Yeah.
the teacher come back.
sure, okay,
So-
understood. Yeah,
But-
but maybe something, you know, whenever, I don't know, where, you know, maybe something like April-ish, you know, or early
Yeah.
May, you know, before the
gotta be warming up but cooling up.
Yeah, kind of a parade kind of thing. So that might be a time. Yeah, it should be a full moon tonight, maybe. Yeah.
The one thing we have to be careful with the parade is when different people have been talking about that and making floats, they all want to do the same thing. So we're going to have to organize something with the parade because
Same thing for what do you mean?
They all want to do the schoolhouse.
Oh.
So we don't want a whole bunch of people making the same floats.
When Westfield did the parade, because I did a float for the Westfield parade, we had to apply and get approval, and we had to sign to all slew of rules.
Yeah.
So it was.
Might be good would you have a copy of those kind of things? Or
I
could you get a hold of
probably do
it
somewhere.
That would be helpful to know.
It's just everybody that I've talked to over the years, they're all there like, oh, I'll do the schoolhouse, and I'm there like.
Yeah. So I think it would be great. I mean, floats. Yeah. I mean, we can certainly expand beyond cars and tractors.
The police have to be involved too.
Yeah, right. We'd have to coordinate all that. Absolutely. Yeah.
What about starting off with maybe a 5K or a run or something?
Well, the Lions Club does one, I believe it's in May, that the Lions Club they started 2 years ago, I believe, doing, it's
Yeah,
they do that.
Randall was running it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
One other thing about events that I was going to say, the Open Space Committee has 2 hikes a year now, one in the fall and one in the spring. And maybe one of their hikes could be
Sure.
in coordination
Yep.
with this.
So we got that on the list in terms of hikes, which I think in having hikes, so figuring out some timing of all this would be a challenge. But yeah, no, I think the Open Space Committee in general, because we have access now to certain, we've got so many conservation lands in town now, but I know there's talk about updating this map. Cindy's got some plans for it, but I haven't heard all the plans yet, so she couldn't come to the meeting tonight, Cindy Palmer. But this would be interesting. This would be something that might be sellable as a little souvenir kind of thing, for example.
Yeah, they just have to be careful in that because it's going to directs people to places.
I know. That's why she's going to update it. The Open Space Committee is taking charge of it,
Okay.
so they're going to deal with it.
Can I ask a question? Does the
Yes.
Lions Club still do the Sweetheart dance in February? Remember they used to do that?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
Not that
I remember,
So-
I don't think they're still doing
I,
that.
no, I don't think so. The other thing that comes to my mind, and I don't know if anybody knows of these things, Dave, you might. Way back when, how about sugar on snow?
You gotta get snow.
That's
I
good.
know. Gotta get snow, gotta get maple syrup, but that's it.
Do we have any maple?
I'm trying to think. Do we have anybody doing maple syrup?
Well, you
in
have
town?
the Pomeroy's over on,
I know.
they're just over the line.
But is there anybody in Southampton doing maple syrup? I don't know that there is. Southampton. So anyway, just a thought. That's just a winter activity. I'm just thinking winter as we start this. If we start anything. So.
Well-
And s'mores, sugary and s'mores.
One of the
bonfire and
Around the
Bonfire?
in
Yep.
January or February,
Yeah.
do one that's not.
Because, what do you call it, during the winter months, doing the gala dance would be,
Old ice skating,
Oh,
bonfire
yeah.
and ice
Oh,
skating.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All that type of stuff.
That would be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay.
so,
All right. Well, guys, I think we're running late tonight. We're already at an hour, so let's maybe call it for tonight. But give me a sense of, when I kind of think we ought to probably have 2 or 3 meetings fairly quickly so we can get some momentum going here. And so I'd like to suggest that we do, another meeting fairly soon, somewhere. Can we do one before the end of the month, before Halloween? Is that possible? Today's the 16th. Could we do the 30th? Halloween's the 31st, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks out? Could we
Yeah.
try another one? Okay, let's try that and see if we can try to take a look at what are the most feasible things we can do off this massive list here. I mean, it's great brainstorming, I think. What is it we think we can do? So what resources do we have? So the plays, the books, the artifacts that we know we have that could be. And there could be displays. I mean, there could be a display at town hall or at the school or whatever. There could be things, the library and stuff. So there's things that could be on display for like a month, that just are there for people to look and learn and whatever. But I think to figure out which of these are probably the most likely that we can pull off, and then do a rough idea of a potential monthly schedule of how that would look, and then see how we could tackle it. Maybe. That sound good?
Yep. 6
All
o'clock
right.
again?
Yeah, let's try that. I think that works.
the 30th?
the 30th at 6 o'clock. Same time, same place, yeah.
Heidi, did you say that other people had logos and things too?
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about the logos. Becky had a logo that she had made. And the ones that people had talked to me about is maybe using like, there was that picture that somebody took of the library with the rainbow over it, was suggested. These are just suggestions. Becky had made one that I have a copy on my phone. I don't know if you brought over a
I brought
copy.
one, but I thought you said that people had already made some logos, so I wasn't gonna.
People were suggesting, because the 250th is 1 year, and then the country is 250th, doing something that we could use for both years.
'Cause it's-
They also suggested maybe doing,
Maybe I could change the top things to stars then, do something more patriotic
well,
instead of the
one of
other.
the things that the Carmichael family wanted us to use some of that stuff that was used for the 200th that Leonard Carmichael had done, that's on all the logos. Also, that's been suggested is the town hall with a flag behind it. Is a logo.
Did someone actually
What do you
have
call the
these
town hall? This or the
created,
real
or-
town hall?
I don't know. This is what people are saying to me, and other people say they want to use
The new one.
what the badge is, or the church from, not from the front view, but
The
you
side
know,
view?
the back.
The
from-
police badge, you're saying?
Yeah. You know how all the people take the pictures from on top of the sledding hill on the church, and you see the
Oh, there we go,
backside of the
sledding,
church?
sledding hill, of course, my God,
Yeah.
of course.
Sledding and cocoa and the whole.
Yes,
Yeah.
sledding and cocoa and whatnot.
Yeah. So it's just,
We better have a snowy winter.
I know, we gotta
it's
check
just,
that.
we have to figure out what we want as a logo. Those were just suggestions that people have asked me.
Well, you have to have somebody that's gonna take the time to make them.
Yeah.
That's the big hurdle. That thing
Yeah.
took me quite a long time to do.
Yeah.
You gotta
Now,
have
I'm not
some,
saying that if anyone needs to use it, it's just, you need an artist that's gonna donate their time
Yeah.
to create all of
Yeah.
You
these.
do, and honestly, for something that's town, I don't know, I'd have to check, without being too formal, I don't know whether, select board would need to approve a logo or something, we might, if we're putting it out on
I think it has to.
public stuff, probably, I don't know that, but I'll check that.
oh, we need a friends of, and then,
Yeah.
then it's
There we go.
ours.
Yeah, but,
Make ourselves the friends of, have more flexibility.
yeah,
Nicole is doing a lot of artwork.
Yeah.
She has.
Yeah.
She has.
yeah.
And Betty.
Okay, so
It's gotta
that's a
be-
good
it's gotta
start.
be It's gotta be simple, so it's easily,
Yeah, easily copied, and if we were putting it on t-shirts and stuff like, it's gotta be maybe a little bit simpler, I don't know, I don't know,
Well,
but,
what I did was
Good
design
thought.
something based on the size it's going to be used. So this is large because I made it large, but I designed it so when it's shrunk down to the 3.5, 4-inch left chest size,
okay,
that it will still work.
I see, okay,
So
yeah,
that's what
Cool.
designers do, is make sure
Yep.
that it's proper for the, application.
whatever size you want
So
to
I've
use,
already,
that's great,
I've already
yeah.
taken those into consideration.
Super, that's
This
good.
is a one-color version, because
Yeah.
if you want t-shirts and such, but it can also then be, I don't want to do any more work on it unless
Yeah.
someone wanted it, and then I could do
Yeah.
it like 2-3 color, and you start adding colors back.
Yeah. All right, well,
Since Boner Coffee Mug, we could reduce it, Boner Coffee Mug.
It could do,
Yeah.
right.
yeah,
yeah.
okay. Try to get a couple of those books back, the, a couple of those, one of them, top one is mine, I think, one's Katie, or one's Heidi's and one's mine, I don't know.
Okay, this is mine.
Mine had a bookmark in it, I think. The other
That one's yours.
No, this one's mine.
You sure?
Yeah, I think this is it. I had a bookmark in this one, not that one. Yeah.
All right.
Good, and thank you, guys. Appreciate your coming, and we'll put the word out, let people know again for the next meeting. Maybe we'll have a few other new faces. and-
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.